Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
It wasn't right, what they did. Taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Yeah, you lost me. I don't see the point of any of this.
You don't see the connection. Let me try to explain. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
He was a murderer. killed your father.
Believe me, I am well aware of the atrocities Kellogg committed. I suspect there are many more we'll never know of. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They need your help, Sean. It's rough up there, to say the least.
Oh, we've tried that. Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in bickering, infighting. It was a disaster. No. We look after our own now. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
I don't know what to do.
I realize that. It's why I'm trying to help you. I hope that you can see that rationally. The Institute is the only thing left in the world that is worth being part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
He's definitely impressive.
Yes, it's pushed our technology to the limit. We've gained some valuable insights in terms of both hardware and software. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
Seriously, you really believe a human could love a synth?
That's a difficult question. I suppose it depends on how closely we've managed to mimic human behavior and emotions. Yours is a unique position. You may be the only one that's truly able to answer these questions right now. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Sean?
Hello, Mother. Enjoying your time here.
This a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
Hey, Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
Excuse me.
Greetings, ma'am.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am.
Huh? Well, hello.
Quentin is such a liar. How would he know what the surface is like? He's never been up there.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Just a routine patrol, ma'am.
Scanning. Subject identified. All systems nominal. Reporting status. All functions normal.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB. Hold it right there.
Is there a problem?
Routine security check. See anything suspicious lately?
Suspicious? What do you mean by suspicious?
I mean, like dodging my questions.
No. Nothing to report, sir. If I see something, I'll be sure to come right to you.
You do that. I'd hate to find your name on a repurposed list.
I've heard stories. The surface sure sounds scary.
Whatever you think I did, I didn't do it. Alice is a liar.
Hi there.
Watch out around here. If they catch you having fun, they make you do boring science.
Excuse me.
Scanning. Unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Sean?
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come...
Excuse me, Doctor.
I don't know.
They weren't kidding.
Most of
You
them
really
have
are
lasted
here.
long past their
Well,
projected
all right.
lifespans.
I'm Allie.
If you ask me,
Allie Fillmore.
They were built
You can
pretty
think
well.
of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes. I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're
Alan.
all looking
Hi
forward to
there.
working with you.
Something I can help you with?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right.
Nothing to report,
That's all for now. You can resume your duties.
If you encounter a hazardous chemical spill, please
Doctor?
alert the facility.
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution. That's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, by the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
Operating at full capacity.
He can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my...
No visible reaction to the K-14 combo. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be less
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations and more. He's eager to get that going.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results.
Hey.
You're here. Glad you made it.
I
A
try
child
not to think
synth.
too much about it.
It's just
We have
remarkable.
more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past.
Liam's been trying to teach me robotics.
Best not to dwell on
It's
the
more
subject.
complicated than I
They're
thought.
still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question
Hi,
best
Doc.
left to our colleagues
Yes,
in the
yes, I'm
robotics
sure that
division.
whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't a good time.
Ooh, working on something important?
All of my work is important. Now, if you're quite finished, I'd very much like to get back to these mental equations. They're difficult enough without the distractions.
Equations for what?
Honestly, you wouldn't understand them. Now, I'm afraid I must end this little chat, although it's been so very diverting.
Humanity's future is taking root right here.
Got it. Nice.
These synths are so lifelike, I keep mistaking them for real people.
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity. Scanning unknown identity.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics.
Everyone's excited about the new synth project.
Carry on, ma'am.
On the targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
All this
Please
must
don't.
be a little overwhelming
There's
for
enough
you.
friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
Father's a great man.
You going soft on
You must
me,
be
Alana?
very proud.
My methods get results, and they will this time as well.
Doc?
So, here you are. Justin Ao, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions. It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
If you're the acting head of the SRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile units. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
Dr. Ao.
Yes, what is it?
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Justin?
Yes, what is it?
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
The Directorate should take the synth escapes more seriously.
Excuse me.
I swear I spend half my time smoothing the feathers that Justin ruffles. We need to be able to collaborate with the other divisions, and that's a lot harder when they're always angry at us.
If you can't get along, it's gonna be hard to accomplish anything.
Yeah, even worse, we got a lot of smart guys with fragile egos. Anyway, we'll figure it out. It was good to meet you.
Hello.
3 levels of approval. Do you believe that? 3!
Constant vigilance is vital to preventing synth escapes.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
Always be vigilant. We have many enemies.
Scanning. Subject identified.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Father has accomplished so much. I hope you can appreciate his work as we do.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
What is it you're working on?
Advanced systems, special projects. You've seen the boy, Synth, already. We've been hard at work on him for quite a while now. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't socialize much. I prefer to focus on my work.
Dr. Lee? I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Rushed work is sloppy at best, and deadly at worst.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Hey, Doc.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics, and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High-energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us. is such a waste of time. I'd rather be designing more efficient plasma emitters.
Safety first. Remember that.
Greetings, ma'am.
It's great to have you here.
Hi, Doc.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care? I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Dr. Holdren?
Good to see you again. Did you need something?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
I think Dr. Carlin was looking for help with one of his experiments. You should talk to him.
Sorry, but I'm too preoccupied for chit-chat.
Isaac.
Well, if it isn't our visitor from the past. Some time ago, we covertly replaced the family patriarch at Warwick Homestead with a synth. He's been field testing a variety of genetically modified seeds that I created. Take this packet of seeds to the Roger Warwick synth. Be careful with these. They represent years of genetic manipulation and enhancement. Hopefully you can manage such a simple task.
Seeds for what?
A melon plant that will, if my calculations are correct, be able to grow even in heavily irradiated soil. The fruit it bears will be perfectly healthy and edible. Or so I hope. Now listen closely, because this next part is vitally important. When Roger asks how your trip was, tell him some blood bugs chased you halfway across the Commonwealth. That code phrase will identify you as an agent of the Institute. Also, you must be discreet. Do nothing to draw attention to yourself or raise suspicion.
And if your synth has been compromised?
Then you'll have to improvise. You seem clever, I'm sure you'll manage. Now hurry on to Warwick Homestead so we can begin the experiment.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Hey.
What's the plan?
Hey.
Got a few things for trade, if you're interested. Lord knows it wasn't always that way.
What have you got?
Got some ripe mute fruit and potatoes. Might be a gourd or two as well. Also got some ammunition, stems, you know, the basics. What do you say?
Sure. Let's take a look. Mr. Warwick?
Didn't run into too much trouble coming out here, I hope.
Some blood bugs chased me halfway across the Commonwealth, but I made it.
Yeah, those things can be pretty territorial. Glad they didn't catch you. Since you traveled all this way, how about a quick tour?
Right this way, if you please. I'll show you what we've been up to here at the Warwick homestead.
I'm sorry, but things are difficult right now.
Things are so messed up around here lately.
I bought this place about 5 years ago. I admit it was a little impulsive, but I don't regret it a bit.
Hey, Mom. What do you need, dear? I'm almost done patching up the spare blanket, but I'm about to run off the
I'm not sure how long these metal structures are gonna last, but they seem to have weathered the elements pretty well so far. You got the seeds? Good. I'll take those. Listen, I need your help. The whole operation's in danger of being exposed.
Why? What happened?
I think my foreman, Bill Sutton, suspects what I really am. He's been spying on me and having secret conversations with our farmhand, Cedric. Now, he's starting to work on my wife and kids, trying to turn them against me, too.
A real crisis you've got here. At this rate, he'll have swayed the scarecrows to his side before week's end.
They aren't your wife and kids. Don't lose perspective here.
I know that. It's just... It's a habit, I guess. I've gotten used to saying it. Anyway, there's more to it. Cedric's vanished. Bill says he had to visit a sick relative, but I think he went to get help.
Do you have any idea where Cedric went?
Of course I know. The whole point of their plan was to keep me from finding out. But I have a feeling that someone around here does. If Bill's taken June and the kids into his confidence, he might have told them what he's planning. Right now, they're too suspicious to talk to me about it, but they've got no reason to suspect you. Just remember, Bill's got them all pretty scared. It's not gonna be easy.
Let's trade some things.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but I'm not supposed to talk to you.
Look, your father's in danger, and I'm trying to help him.
Well, okay. If you really are trying to help, then I guess I can talk to you. The truth is, I'm really scared for Daddy. Foreman Bill says he's a synth and he has to be dealt with.
He gave Cedric a lot of money and told him to go to Good Neighbor. I don't know why.
Please, if you really want to help Daddy, find out what Cedric and Bill are up to and stop them.
Downstairs. Don't bother the other patrons.
Ever been to Kill or Be Killed? Some fine-looking weapons.
I want to know what you and Bill Sutton are planning.
Yeah? What's it to you?
Hey, answer my question. Why did Bill send you here?
I heard you twice the first time, stranger. Thing is, I don't see how goddamn business. Unless maybe Roger put you up to this. Tell you what, though. Maybe we can help each other out. If I've learned anything here, it's that information's got a price. Just like everything else. I got no particular loyalty to Bill Sutton or to Roger Warwick. So make me an offer, and let's see what happens.
I know you're in a tough situation here, but lives are at stake. Please, help me.
You're not the only one with skin in this game.
Bill isn't the only one who's afraid. People all over the Commonwealth are talking about this institute. But maybe you're right. Maybe we are letting that fear get the best of us. Truth is, this whole trip was a damn fool idea if you ask me. Bill hands me a fistful of caps and says, go to Good Neighbor. They got all kinds of shady characters there. Find us a mercenary. So, I'm supposed to find some contract killer like I know how, and then hire him to take out Roger. First I agreed, but now I'm thinking to hell with Bill Sutton. I'll just stick around here for a while. Of course, he's probably figured out that I ain't coming back. Might just take matters into his own hands. As frightened as he is, the man's capable of just about anything.
Hey, how's the family doing?
Same as always, you know.
I gotcha. You say hi to your mom and pa for me, okay?
Yes.
One way or another, you're gonna admit what you really are. When you do, everyone will know the real Roger Warwick is dead and gone.
But he's right here, Bill.
Bill, you're insane. Please, I'm begging you. Let's just talk about this.
Some days,
I know
the bay
you're part of
breeze
this.
is strong.
You
and I
probably
almost
killed the real
forget
Roger,
place
so
was
this
a
thing
source
could take
pad.
his place.
Hey. There's no need for violence here. Let's talk things over.
You're stalling. You're gonna try to talk me down. And then when I'm not expecting it, you'll get the drop on me. Who the hell are you, anyway? I'll tell you who you are. You're one of them! You show up out of nowhere, have your secret chat with Roger, and the next thing I see, you're off looking for Cedric! That's right, I figured it out. I know you're up to something, and I ain't gonna trust a word you say!
Do you really want to leave these children without a father?
Their real father's long gone! And I'm guessing you people had a hand in that. So what do you plan to do, stranger?
Are you ready to take a bullet for a synth?
If it means protecting innocent people from a madman, yes.
A madman? Is that what you think I am? I know what I've seen. At least, I think I do. What else could explain it? None of you believe me, do you? Am I really crazy? I don't know. I was so sure about Roger. Jesus. What if I'm wrong? What if I was about to... right in front of June and the kids? I have to leave. I'm sorry. I need to sort things out. I've lost sight of things.
Thank God you were here.
You okay?
Yeah, mostly. I thought for sure I was a dead man.
I'm just glad that you and your family are safe now.
Well, we're in your debt. You can tell our mutual friends that I'll get those seeds in the ground and have a report ready soon. In the meantime, you be safe out there.
We've got some supplies I can offer, if you're interested.
June?
Got a few things for trade, if you're interested. Lord knows it wasn't always that way.
Not looking to buy right now.
Mom's a really great cook. I didn't used to.
Well, hello.
All Janie ever talks about is clothes and boys. Boring.
Just looking to trade a little.
Okay.
Everyone wants a piece of what I got.
Hey, Cricket.
So many guns and so little time. Just gotta buy them.
Sure. Let's take a look.
And there they are! Did your heart skip a beat too?
How could I be so selfish?
I'll never see the Warwicks again. I don't deserve to.
sucking down a lot of rats sticking around here.
We put on some wonderful radio plays. You should listen sometime.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
What do you hope to find?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
brought a bit of good news. If you haven't already. Well, they thought he might be dead. Glad you're back, Nick. Even with emergency talk. There's 3 sons will be dead.
Yeah?
Hey, Carla.
You again. Here to trade?
I'll take a look, sure.
You break it, you buy it.
Hey, Carla.
You again. Here to trade?
Let's see what you got.
I got a little bit of everything.
Carla.
Need to pick something up? It's pretty long from here.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Always happy to make a sale.
Run some diagnostics while you're tinkering. Take your time. The detective's life isn't an easy one, but it rarely lacks for excitement.
Huh?
You